Officers escorted this person, Reedy Patel, after she repeatedly threatened death towards council members who were weighing a Gaza ceasefire resolution. And this was her quote to them. "I don't have faith that you'll do this," Patel said in the resolution. "You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself."
Sounds very peaceful. Hey, welcome to the Not Offended Podcast. It's your boy, Anthony, the conservative Chicano. What's going on? Mi gente. Hey, across from me, I got, of course, the Bishop and the Token. Man, I cannot believe it. Once again, we talk about Lecrae and everything just blows up. I never seen so many people come to this guy's defense in my entire life.
I didn't even know people knew who he was.
But they don't like your question, Mike.
What'd I say?
You said, is Lecrae even a Christian?
Oh,
they had some choice thoughts for you.
Oh, was it because I'm white or what?
What would you say?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. You know what? Why not? Let's just make it about race.
Yeah, there it is. Everybody else does. Why not?
Let's just go. It's because you're white. But we're going to get to that in a later segment. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Our audience, hey, man, you guys are just helping us to explode. We're growing. It's been incredible, amazing. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, leave a comment button, do everything. Hey, shout out to the people who have been DMing us. Felt like I was going to start rapping right there. Who've been sending us videos and stuff. We're actually going to talk about a video at the end of the podcast today. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Okay, so you can find us Apple. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube. Just get the word out for us. All right, I got to get to the sci-fi segment. So we survived the eclipse. We're good. You got your eyesight. I got my eyesight. For the record, people want to know, did you do the double glasses and did it work?
I did not do the double glasses, but I did do a welding shield.
Did it work?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, you got to see the eclipse too?
Yes.
Has your life been changed because of it?
No.
Was your life changed?
I saw the aliens on Mars.
You did?
But we didn't have a full, the eclipse here in Fresno. So.
Oh, what do we have?
I don't know. I don't know what percentage. I didn't look it up.
We had like
crescent moon. I don't know what is it called? Waning moon.
So I did try the double glasses. Nothing happened. It just was still bright. So I took off the double glasses and I put on the welding hat. But there were some. I don't know if the footage is real, but there were some mysterious things flying around over Texas. Does that surprise either of you?
What?
Well, people from Texas would tell you they're their own country, and everything is bigger and better in Texas. The barbecue's better, the Mexican food's better, everything's bigger and better. The burgers, their Whataburgers are better. Comments?
I'll take Whataburger's good.
You'll take Whataburger over InNOut?
No, I just said it was good.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, what would you rather have? What would you rather have? Whataburger or InNOut burger?
Am I really hungry? If I'm really hungry, then I'm going with Whataburger. But if I'm not that hungry, I'm going InNOut.
You got to explain that to the audience.
Well, if you've ever had Whataburger, it's a lot more food than it is for InNOut.
Okay.
But InNOut, I think it's just fresher.
Okay, what are you going for?
InNOut.
Okay, so in the comments already, you let us know. It's the Texas California Challenge, Whataburger or InNOut. Okay,
their barbecue is not better than ours.
Oh wow! They're gonna take that offensively.
I don't know. They take everything offensively over. That's fine.
Okay, their Mexican food is for sure not better.
And I was gonna say their Mexican food is definitely
That's facts. That is 100% facts. Do you have any comments about this food?
You got people still arguing. You have even Mexicans arguing. Well, you didn't go to the right part of Texas. You had to go to San Antonio. You had to go here.
You haven't had my grandma's.
Hey, I feel like you guys pitted me in a corner over here, being the only Mexican.
Look, if you got to add vegetables to your rice in order for your rice to
add vegetables.
No, I'm saying if you have to, then your rice isn't that good.
Well, all I got to say, Cali born and bred over here, baby. Our Mexican food is better. Okay, so this first clip comes to us from people filming the eclipse in Texas. And so they say they spotted a UFO. You guys tell me. Watch this clip.
Back up. This is so cool. What's that?
What is that?
Bruh. Look, there's something flying through the air. Oh, shit. What is that? What the f*** is that? Yo, what the f***? Aliens! Aliens! Yo.
So I love. Do you guys know where that music's from?
Yeah.
What is it? Go ahead.
Blanking on it.
I know because you're
X-Files.
not a real fan.
X-Files.
You would have known.
No, I didn't. I was a kid. Super young.
Oh. I wasn't.
You didn't watch? You didn't watch? No, I was
Scully.
in
Come on,
kindergarten.
guys. Hey, it's from the X-Files. Okay, are you guys buying or selling that UFO?
Something was in there.
Listen here, Jeb. I'm telling you.
So what do you think it was?
Oh, I don't know.
It was a drone. What do you think it was?
I don't know. It was something.
Okay. So they're claiming it was a UFO. Okay, you guys leave it in the comment box if you guys think it's a UFO. I personally think it's a drone. Would you rule out a drone?
No. I mean, I'm definitely going to go drone over a UFO.
Oh, okay. So the aliens did not use the eclipse as a point and a demarcation to land and to infest us with some strange new COVID strain. Can we agree on that?
Well, it could have been China.
It could have been China.
They sent balloons before. I don't know.
Yeah. So they just sent a flying drone with the. Is this a new COVID variant?
I'm not saying bringing COVID, but
Oh,
it was
okay.
something.
I don't think it was. So, but
It's not a Wuhan UFO.
no, no, I don't think so. That was actually funny though. That was good. Okay, so I got something that people. I don't know how long ago I first heard about it, but I heard about cloud seeding and chemtrails probably about 8 or 10 years ago. And I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't think too much of it. I didn't really put a lot of stock in it. But cloud seeding's real. There was the video we played, I forget which episode, it was probably 3 or 4 months back, about the cloud seeding in the Middle East. I believe that was Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates or Abu Dhabi or somewhere. Remember, I played that video.
Yeah.
And then The Blaze with Jason Whitlock recently put out an article, and we'll put the article up in this video, and then we'll put a link to it, talking about the conspiracy theories were not lying. It's real. There's cloud seeding. And I was reading this article, and it's not conspiracy. So here's my question I have. If we've been experimenting with cloud seeding for the duration of time that has been quoted now, which is somewhere between 10 plus years, then why not just come out and talk about it? And my second question is, are we playing with something that we don't know what we're playing with? And is this going to come back to bite us? Like, we used to think this was science fiction. You could create weather. Now we're learning you can't cloud seed. Is this something that we're going to pay for later? So first question is, can you believe it's actually real, and why didn't they just be honest about it? And number two, is it going to come back to bite us in the butt later? What would you say? Go ahead.
If we're ever expecting the government to be honest with us or totally upfront with us, I don't think that's a realistic expectation from the government. I will say this. I think there are oftentimes a lot of things that are going on that the government doesn't tell us, and oftentimes rightfully so.
Okay.
Whether that be some intel that they're doing, or they're trying to create some new, experimenting on something new, whatever. I do think that they are doing stuff behind the scene that they're not telling us about it, and sometimes they can't tell us about it because it would ruin whatever intel that we've got. But to expect the government to be totally upfront and say, "Hey, this is exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it,"
but is this going to cause some more harm than good? Cloud seeding. What do you think? Should we be messing around with Mother Nature or creation?
No, I definitely think that we probably shouldn't be messing around with something that you're not in control over.
What about you? And what do you say to all the people who were saying it's conspiracy, and now it's facts? And should we really be messing with the weather?
We mess with stuff all the time that's in nature. We mess with pregnancy. We mess with all kinds of stuff. That's what we do.
Okay.
Medication. You mess with brain chemistry, drugs, all the stuff. Every time you pop a pill, you're messing with your body.
Okay, no, I'm saying, should we be messing around with nature?
Yeah, we mess with nature all the time. We mess with our nature, our bodies all the time.
So we about to around and find out.
Yeah, we go find out. That's what find a lot of medication. You find out. You found out 10 years later. Hey, you shouldn't take that.
Well, they said part of that cloud seeding in that article that we talked about a while back. They had reference to Southern California and all the floods that they had.
That's my point.
And
why are we so enamored with being God? What is our thing about us? Like, we just want to mess with everything.
Well, I think part of it, they want to try to improve stuff. I think some people will take stuff and try to just destroy the world or just get rich.
Well, it's like a quest for like this utopian, world where it's like the perfect environment with the perfect this and the perfect that. And I think that's what there are the people who are trying to use this for, the harm of others. But I think a lot of them are trying to use this for the benefit of others, or what they perceive to be the benefit.
I'm sitting here thinking, if you can cloud seed, why don't you run that mug in reverse and you can create droughts over the world? Mm-hmm. See, this is what I'm saying. We're gonna look back, and be like, 10 years from now, like that was stupid.
Well, the best laid plans in the hands of somebody who's got some wicked thoughts
Or some beef to settle.
Turns bad real quick.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is a good idea. But hey, to all the people who've been shouting out chemtrails and cloud seeding for all that time, you ready for this? You right. You were right the whole time. I just, in the sci-fi segment, it's the stuff that's just like, to me, it's like too hard to believe. So speaking of too hard to believe, are we on the cusp of World War III? You guys got any thoughts on this? Like, are we on the cusp of something? Like, are we really messing around and finding out with Iran? For those of you who don't know, Iran tried to bomb Israel. I think they said now it's up to a couple hundred missiles, drones, and rockets. And like less than 1% was actually successful. I think maybe one casualty, but if not, just
this
one.
little girl was hurt.
Little hurt, but yeah, exactly. So, are we on the cusp of World War III? What do you think?
Side question.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on the stand, so I'm asking back.
Yeah.
The concert that went crazy in Russia. Who took the blame for that?
It was Muslims.
Out of where though? Was it out of Iran?
Oh, I'd have to look that up. Can you look that up? Yeah. Well.
Anyway, I was thinking about wanting to get Russia on your side, and I felt like that kind of might have backfired for them. Anyway, that was just a side thought that I had a couple.
Russia's going to protect Iran. If we jump in, they're going to protect them.
Yeah. I was wondering what Putin was going to do in regards to that.
Well,
that was
Putin told Biden stay out of it, and Biden called Netanyahu and said we're staying out of it.
Are we on the cusp of World War III?
People really want to know. I have people stopping me and asking me. They want to know what the heck. What do we think is going on?
I think the U.S. came out and said that we were going to back Israel. Correct? As of yesterday, I believe I read that.
We did back them. I think I counted. We got 7 or 9 warships in the area, and our American fighter pilots as well as drone operators were shooting down stuff. Yeah, we backed them on that. But if they bomb Iran, if Israel bombs Iran, is this the start of World War III? What do you think?
I don't know. First, when I listened to it last night, it sounded like it was. Then it sounded like it wasn't. I don't know. You listen to different people to go back and forth. It depends on what Israel. It depends really a lot on what Israel does. They're hoping there was no casualties, so Israel wouldn't bomb them too bad. But they said they're going to respond no matter what. There's like you can't shoot at us and we not respond. So.
You know what I want to show my viewers? I want to show our viewers. I want to show them. Have you ever seen the Dome of? Have you ever seen the Dome of the Rock? And then have you ever seen the Iron Dome? 2 different domes.
Yeah.
The Iron Dome is the defense system, right? But have you ever seen the Dome of the Rock? Well, I know you guys, but you've been with me to the Dome of the Rock. But I want to show our viewers the Dome of the Rock, and then I don't want this to be confusing. And then the Iron Dome working in defense of protecting Jerusalem. Okay, so watch this video. They've already seen it. Was that pretty crazy or what? To see those flares shoot up and catch all those rockets? But what a view of the Dome of the Rock. And I got to thinking when I was watching that, I don't understand why, and maybe I'm wrong on this, why Iran would try to put missiles over the Dome of the Rock. And listen, the Dome of the Rock is not the Al-Aqsa Mosque, okay? That's off to the side. So I don't want people to get that confused. But they're close in proximity. I don't understand why they were trying to put bombs over that when that's the third holiest Muslim site. Did that make any sense to you? I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, even people on the news, it's interesting that they got so close to that place because it's so holy for, 3 different faiths.
Right. So I'm not the only one who was thinking that then.
Yeah, they was like, let's go
okay,
home.
so does that make sense what I was asking? Like, why are you...
Unless you knew that was going to be what was going to happen. Like
Okay,
you knew that was going to get shot down, so let's just...
Sure, but it's not 100%. Like, you really want to roll that dice? Like, who made that call? Does that make sense? Who made that? 5 guys sitting around. Hey, what do you want to do there? Well, I think we should just shoot about a dozen rockets over Dome of the Rock. Well, what if one gets through? Nah, it won't get through. Right? Who takes the blame on that one? Can I just throw something out there? Let me ask you guys a question. So let's say, by chance, that one of those rockets hits the Dome of the Rock. What happens next?
I don't know. They should let it hit the other temple though. The Muslim one, with the black one, right?
Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Yeah.
No, but I'm asking
That would've
seriously.
been cool.
Seriously, what happens? What happens if a rocket did hit the Dome of the Rock? What do you guys think happens? Does Israel say to the Muslims there, "Go ahead,
We taking over?
no, go ahead, rebuild it," or do they say, "Hey, now that it's gone and we didn't do it, you guys did it. We're taking back our site"? I'm just asking.
I think.
What say you?
I think that's a perfect opportunity for Israel to come in and say, "It's done."
So, Mandy and I.
Well, it's closer to a wall. I mean, if that's getting hit,
Yeah, exactly.
you're hitting their wall too.
Now listen. The wall is holy. The Salah rock inside that mosque is holier. That's the rock.
But I'm saying this don't even give Israel more reason to.
Okay, but Manny and I are talking last night, and y'all might want to pay attention. If you're a believer, you might want to lean into this. So Mandy and I were talking last night, and we're going to ask the same question. I just got it out first. She was thinking the same thing. I said, what if a rocket hits the mosque or the Dome of the Rock, which is still a site they pray at too? By the way, that's where Muhammad had a vision, I believe, and it's the Hall of Souls. Sorry.
Muhammad didn't hear nothing.
I know, but it's the Hall of Souls.
Taking
Okay.
some drugs.
So what happens if a rocket hits that? I was talking to Mandy, and I said, you know what happens? Because I said exactly what you said. It's next to the wall. It's an attack on a holy site. That's the only excuse Israel needed to recapture their land. Now, do not forget, they captured that land before and they gave it back. They captured that land before. I think it was either in 48 or it was in 67.
Israel
Six-Day
did?
War. They captured that land. You can Google that. Google that for us real quick. Find out if it was 48 or 67. They actually captured the Dome of the Rock and they gave it back as a peace agreement. If this gets blown up now, I'm telling you right now, they take it back and they build a third temple.
Yeah, then we have a war.
Yes. So here's where I'm going with this. So I'm sitting there because people want to know, and I'm telling you right now, for the viewers out there, depending on what happens next, whether America stands. Well, I don't think we're gonna sign off and sanction Israel to blow up anything in Iran. I think what I heard was Joe Biden wants everybody just to call a truce. Hey, you hit them, they hit you back. Everybody play nice now. And his famous words were don't. Well, Joe, they did because who says that? Like, you got a 2-year-old.
Oh, I was gonna say, I do that with my boys all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, you got your hit in. We're done. All right.
Yeah,
You're even.
I figured that.
You're even.
So that's what did you find out about that? Yeah. I can't find the date. Okay. They didn't say the date? Okay. Don't worry about it. I believe it was either 48 or 67 during the 6-Day War or the independence. They captured that. And so my question to you guys, where does it go from here? People are asking us as pastors, where does it go from here? And I'm telling people, I think it just depends on the response. Do they hit something? Does America back that or not? What do you guys think over this next week? What do you think happens? Passover. They always be doing stuff on Jewish holy days. I'm telling you, it's like a double whammy, right? So what do you think happens this next week? Our audience wants to know. What do you think happens?
From what a lot of people are saying, that they're going to respond. Israel's not going to let anyone just shoot at them and not do something back. I think depending on what they do, they're hoping there wasn't many casualties, so they wouldn't actually go too hard at them. So if they go like out there like military bases, things like that, and not go after civilians, you might see it die down from there. But it really depends on how Israel responds. I mean, the UK already said with the US, hey, just let it be. Don't do anything bad.
Oh, they said that too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh, wow.
Because they had planes in there too, helping shoot down stuff.
I knew they were there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he came out and said that as well.
Yeah, they're trying to and then they're also saying even other Arab countries are hoping that this dies down because they all got money. And they're like, hey, we want to keep this money coming. The guy said literally that's all it was about. He's all these other countries and one like, hey, Iran, calm down. Like, you're going to mess up our money. He thought if this comes down to all out war, our next 10 years, we're going to suffer. You're going to take up all our money.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think it's a lot of saving face. And I think you have some politicians and some people in the military who are trying to save face. If they do this, then we have to do something back. So let's shoot this missile in an area where there really aren't anybody, civilians, or they're like DeShawn said, in order to try to say, well, at least we retaliated. But then I also think that there are people who are in a quest for power and people who are in a quest for, you have people who on both sides of this conflict who are just zealot and just like, we don't even care.
But I understand it from Israel's point. They always have to show you can't just shoot at us.
Yeah, no,
I mean, if someone shot at America, I'm saying wipe out that country. Like, I understand, like, you can't just shoot at us and like, oh yeah, you're good. And but in Israel,
don't do it again.
Yeah. In Israel, surrounded, and that's what they're like. Hey, if you shoot at us, we have to prove to the rest of the world that we will act accordingly.
Right. So I think you have some people who are going to respond, because they have to save face, in the sense of like, we have to make sure that you know that you can't just do that.
Yeah.
And then I think you have some people who are like, oh man, forget it. Like, let's just go get everybody. Yeah. And so it's like, who do you have that's going to make the call? Do you have the person who's going to be level-headed? Do you have the person who's going to be looking long-term? Or do you have the person who's like, man, we've been, looked at and treated this way for forever. Let's just take everybody out.
So from what I understand, they have the Knesset, which is like their Congress.
Yeah.
And they gave all control to 3 people. Oh, man. It's Netanyahu, a general, and Benny Gates or something like that. So there's 3 people making those decisions. It was 67. And it's under Israeli control, but they let them have that dome back. So I don't know, but I know they're fighting their war. I think it all depends on what happens next and what we decide to do, because this stuff is going to start popping. And all I know is I feel like we've seen this before. We've been here before. The only thing that upsets me is you had all these people talking about if Donald Trump was president again, all these wars, all this stuff we'd be doing. And do you know what I've noticed? It's the exact opposite. Joe Biden has gotten us into all this trouble. Iran money, Afghanistan debacle. Now we got Iran and Jerusalem. We had Jerusalem and Hamas. We've had nothing but problems. Open borders. I mean, everybody was blaming Trump, and Joe's doing everything. We got problems anyway. Okay.
It's funny. Benny Johnson had an interesting picture. It was the Israel's the Dome of the Rock,
right?
Going up, and it was all the stuff coming from Iran. It was all tax, California tax. I mean, United States taxpayer funded. This is all our money in the air right now.
It is.
It's all your tax money in the air
because we gave Iran all that money, and because we paid for everything in Israel. Mm-hmm. That's all our tax dollars.
Yeah, you're paying for this war.
Which you know what? Can I be honest with you? I don't want no more war. Do you want war? I don't want war. Do you want war?
No, I got $5 gas right now,
bro.
Oh, they're like, go get gas. Go get gas now.
Okay, so
$5 now is gonna be $10.
Okay,
yep.
We'll talk about that next segment. Not this one, but another episode. Okay, we got our own wars we're fighting. I came across a clip, and we're literally training people on how to protest, and the chances are death to Israel and death to America. I want to show you guys this clip. I'm going to get some thoughts. Watch this clip.
So I'm going to teach you a chant in Persian that you can use if you ever encounter those Zionist freaks, whether they be Iranian or whatever, all right? Now, I don't drink margaritas, but we all know what a margarita is. We all know what a bar is. So you're going to say, Marg Bar. Marg Bar. Marg Bar Israel. 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 Thank you.
What does that mean?
Oh, so it has two meanings depending on who's asking. It can mean death to or down with. So
Can we get a Marg Bar America?
we can get a Marg Bar America. Yes, we can. Marg Bar America.
Marg Bar America.
Marg Bar America.
Marg Bar America.
Thank you.
So let me get you guys' first thoughts on that. So why are we training people how to say death to Israel and death to America in another language? What was your thought?
I'm sure there's some great Muslim people out there who are nice and kind. There's a guy at the gym. He's Muslim. He's a nice guy. Cares for his,
he is a nice guy.
Cares for his family. He's a guy I probably can go hang out with, go eat with. But the Muslim faith is garbage, and this is what you get. And we shouldn't adopt their views in our American culture. We should exclude them if you have those beliefs, because they're going to destroy our country.
So what does the radical left have in common with Muslim views? That I noticed everybody was wearing a mask. There must be a new COVID variant in that group right there because everybody was masked
The
up.
only thing they have in common is they hate Christians and they hate conservatives. That's what they have in common. But once they get rid of our views, the Muslims are going to hang up from a tree.
Wow. Okay. Well,
That's what's going to happen. And they'll be like, oh, what happened? It's like, oh, you got rid of the Christians. And this is their views.
so you think the Muslims are just tolerating them right now as a means to an end?
Yeah, they're just being patient, gain power, get these people out of here, adopt our views.
Yeah. Okay. But if you're on the radical left, how do you not know what the Muslims believe?
You just hate Christians and conservatives that much.
So in other words, an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Maybe there's no more BLM protests. I don't know. What I mean, that's kind of like you look at the crowd that he was talking to, and that's the vibe I got. What's going on in this picture? It's crazy. I mean, that's the state of the radical left. It's not even I don't even think it's the state of necessarily like the whole left. It's just the state of the radical left. Like they don't.
American soil, though. American soil.
Yeah,
What's
a lot
your
of
thought on that.
Yeah, a lot of stuff goes on in American soil. I mean, you have crazy stuff on the right that I'm sure looks like that, just in a different way.
Okay, but we've got no problem calling out the crazy right, like that stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand why can't people just be in the middle and call crazy for crazy?
Remember, there is no more middle.
Okay, I feel like we're being wiped out. The middle.
Yeah, there is no more middle.
Well-
if you're on the left, you can't even call out the left.
Well, I got something for you. So this is a little closer. We're in Fresno, California. This is Not Offended Podcast. We talk about culture, its influence on the church. Sit tight. It's only going to get better from here. A little closer to us in Bakersfield. Talk about radical. I'm queuing this up for you. You get to read the intro to this. We had a lady who, she's non-binary. So we had go to a councilman meeting and she had some choice words. We're going to read those in a second, and I'm going to show you a clip of why she got arrested. You ready, Mike? Let's go. What's her name, and tell us what she's guilty of here.
Her name is its name is
Remember, she's non-binary. By the way, we've concluded that pansexual and non-binary are really the same thing. Off air, we concluded that, didn't we?
No, pansexual and bisexual.
Oh, pansexual and bisexual is the same. I'm doing my best, guys.
I was already lost. I was
okay. You were just going to agree with me?
I was.
Okay, good. Let's read it about the bisexual, pansexual. No. Sorry. She's bigender.
What?
Whatever. She's non-binary.
This would happen. This would happen.
Okay, go ahead.
This would happen in Bakersfield. Okay. So it says Bakersfield, California protester received a $2 million bond Wednesday after making death threats directed at city council members. Officers escorted this person, Reedy Patel, after she repeatedly threatened death towards council members who were weighing a Gaza ceasefire resolution. And this was her quote to them. "I don't have faith that you'll do this," Patel said in the resolution. "You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself."
Sounds very peaceful. I mean, it sounds like a ceasefire to me.
And then
it gets better. Wait, there's more. ShamWow, let's go.
She went on to say, "I remind you that these holidays," she's talking about, I don't know what holidays she's referring to, that are
Ramadan,
that we
Passover,
practice, that other people in the global South practice, believe in violent revolution against their oppressors. And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you. Beep beeps.
Oh, what was the beep beeps?
The MNFers.
Let's go. Nothing says violence like the M or F-er. Bring the guillotine, you MFer.
So is Jesus bringing the guillotine? Is that what she's saying?
So, I have a video I want to show you. That gave us a good little summary, but the last 7 seconds is what got her arrested. Watch this.
You guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors? We'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Well, and then she wondered why she got arrested. What was your first thought, Bishop? We will go to your. What'd you think? Go ahead.
Yeah, at least she told the truth. All these other Muslims out here lying. Y'all, we know what y'all really think. Stop lying.
You think that lady's going to your house to kill you?
No, she wants to.
Oh.
This is said again, like my oppressors. We believe that we should go and destroy our oppressors. That's how they feel.
What'd you think?
You can't say that there, friend. You leaving in cuffs.
So she's walking out of the council meeting, and the lady who I believe is like the council president says something to the bailiff, and then or sheriff, whoever's there, and she goes, "Excuse me, Miss, I think it's Patel, right? Is that the last name?
Yeah.
Can you stop right there? That was a threat. Can you stop right there?" And they come and they arrest her on the spot, and she's blank faced on why she's being arrested. And then she's in court crying, saying, "I don't know what I did."
She's going, racism, racism.
She's saying she doesn't know what she did. Does somebody want to let her know what she did?
The guillotine, the MNFers.
I think it was
the whole come into your house and killing you. You can't do that.
Oh, so what happens? What do you think happens? Do you think she gets charged with some of these counts?
Yeah, she'll get some misdemeanors and, probably have to go clean up some trash off the 99.
Or they're going to say she's oppressed, she's burdened, get some mental health.
Mental health.
And
mental
then,
health. For
set
sure.
her free.
Yeah.
Set the songbird free.
Yeah. Hey, so Bakersfield. What'd you think when we said Bakersfield? Did that even pop into your head? This would happen in Bakersfield? Hey, hold on, Bakersfield. Right? You got to spit out the truth right there.
Yeah, they got some color down there, I guess.
They also got a lot of guns.
Yeah, got a lot of guns, too. It's a lot of white folks with guns.
Did I mention I was moving to Bakersfield?
Oh, you're going to fit right in.
Hey, there it is.
I wonder who has more guns, Bakersfield or Fresno?
I don't know.
With or without serial numbers?
Hold on. That's a great question.
They got more bomb shelters, that's for sure.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah. There's preppers out there. They're ready for the aliens.
I feel like we're stereotyping a whole city.
Just drive through it.
Okay. So let's get into this now about the Lecrae clip. I told you that we were going to talk about it. So once again, our Lecrae clips, they just hit for whatever reason. And people keep saying to us that we're judging who is Lecrae, that he should tell other people to leave a party. And then the biggest thing they got upset about is we said he should tell on the people who are there. And I was specifically talking about people who are doing nefarious activities / pastors and preachers. You know what I mean? So, and real quick, the difference, a pastor is a pastor, pastors a local church. Preachers are people who go around and speak. That's all I was separating. That's it. So they came after us, of course. And I got into a couple back and forths. And I kept telling everybody that this is the new Christianity. This is the 21st Christianity. And you kept implying, no, it's not. It's a fake Christianity. I'm not arguing that it is a fake Christianity, but I'm saying this is the new emerging Christianity. So I'm doing that in whatever you look at, your algorithm picks up your feed and it starts sending you other stuff. So I came across another clip and I feel like it only solidifies what I was trying to say last week. I'm putting the shot across the bow. I'm letting people know right now, this is the emerging Christianity. This is what we have to fight against. And I want to show you this clip by Cam Newton and Charles White. And I want you guys to watch it. I want to get your thoughts on it. But it runs right up to the whole Lecrae thing. This, I can hang out in parties. Oh, everybody was blasting that. You can hang out at a party and not do this stuff and still be a Christian. And I think Charles White says something in this clip that I just wish more people would say, because this is the truth. Watch this clip.
I wouldn't identify as a Christian, but I have Christian values and beliefs. I believe in Jesus. I believe that he's the Son of God. I just don't take the title as a Christian. Man, I just believe.
So what are you?
A believer.
That don't make you a Christian?
No. Because I also like to sin. And most Christians don't admit that they like to sin.
Most people can't admit to the sins that they do.
That they like to do. See, some that we do, but we also got some secret ones that we like to do.
But that's everybody. That's not Christians, Muslim. That's just everybody as humanity.
When the FBI studied Malcolm and when they studied Martin, one went and spoke and came back to the hotel and prayed and talked on the phone with his wife, and they don't have no dirt on him. The other one went and spoke and came back to the room and partied and like a mother in every town he went to. That was the Christian.
How you know that?
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, this is the Not Offended podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get some thoughts on that clip. I just want to say real quick before I hand it over to you guys, I don't agree. I really don't know who Charles White is. I guess he was made famous by a meme or whatever. I don't care. But I finally found somebody who would at least tell the truth. He wants to be a Christian in name only because he likes to sin. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. I in a weird way, I got respect for him in that sense. At least he's going to tell the truth of what he really wants to do. And Cam Newton's over there trying to, fight about it a little bit. But let me get your thoughts, Togan. What you got on that? What'd you think about what he said?
Sometimes I wonder why we're talking about Lecrae, but then I was thinking about it, and it's a perfect. The reason why we're talking about Lecrae is because it does affect the church, like how culture influences the church.
It is influencing. That's why we talk about it.
Yeah, it's influential, and because I'm like, man, why are we talking about Lecrae again? And it fits in with Charles White saying, in the sense that he's like, there are Christian values in which I like, but I don't like the obedience of being a Christian because I like to sin. And I think a lot of this new, what did you call it? New age Christian?
I call it 21st century Christianity.
Yeah, and
I think, new movement.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's we like the label of being a Christian because of what it makes us feel like. I think we're constantly, as people, looking for a tribe.
Okay.
Right? I mean, and we're looking for other like-minded people. We want to fit in. We're constantly looking for a friend group. Right? So we have this label of being a Christian because of the values that comes with being Christian. It makes us feel better. We help the poor. We help the widow. We can do these different things. But at the end of the day, we still like to sin. And so we keep the label, but we don't walk in obedience.
Huh. What do you think about it?
Yeah, but he didn't even try to keep the level. He said, "Don't call me Christian." He's all.
Yeah, but
I understand what he's saying because.
But Lecrae would keep the label.
Yeah, but he's saying, "I believe it." But to me, it's literally what Jesus said, like count the cost. One of the hardest things about preaching every Sunday is like you can't always give full context. So sometimes it can sound like you contradict yourself.
Okay.
For this reason, the salvation is free. Like you don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost you anything. We can say that's true. But Jesus also said to follow him is going to cost you something, which is also true.
You're right.
And he's looking at this and he's counting the cost. And he's like, I believe what you say in Jesus, but I'm not willing to give that up. So I believe you, but I'm not. Now I'm gonna keep this right here. So don't call me a Christian. I do believe Jesus is this person, but I'm not gonna give it up.
See, but that's okay. I get amped up about this, so I'm gonna try to keep my cool. That's the emerging Christianity. You got a whole generation who lines up with these thoughts right here. I'm gonna wear the title. I'm gonna put on the bling, the drip. Right. I'm gonna have the cross necklace. Shoot, I'm gonna have cross earrings. I'm even going to get a tattoo of some scripture, put it where everybody could see it. And I'm going to be real spiritual and get one in Hebrew. and yet you out there fornicating. You out there, and you just won't be like this guy and just admit it. I enjoy sinning. I don't want to give up sinning. I like my debaucherous lifestyle. This is the emerging Christianity where we have a bunch of preachers selling pipe dreams that you can have your cake and eat it too. That at that cross, there is no cost. You could come as you are and you can stay that way. And this is the emerging. This is the Lecrae generation. This is the Jamal Bryant generation. This is the Charles White generation. You got people tuning in to a feel-good popcorn preaching, and there's no transformation. There's no working of the Holy Spirit. I've got news for you. When that day comes, Jesus said 2 men will be working in the field, and one's going to be gone, and the other one's left behind. You're playing with fire. You are bearing no fruit. And I'm telling you, this concerns me. This really concerns me. But I applaud Charles White for at least having the guts to get up there and say it, what everybody's already thinking. And you see, even Cam Newton was uncomfortable with it. He wanted that label Christian.
It's a son of a preacher.
Yeah, but as if the Christian label is something you could buy like Gucci and you could just wear it. No, it's something that works from the inside out, not the outside in. I don't care if you dress like it, walk like it, and talk like it. If it's not from the inside out, it don't matter. That's what Jesus got onto the Pharisees about it. And I think they just want Christianity to be trendy. We don't need it to be trendy. We need it to be life-changing. And this really concerns me. You got people tuning in. You know how many people is agreeing with that? Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I could be a believer and not have to do anything Jesus says. Then you're not a believer.
Well, I don't think he's. Well, I don't know. You have more detail. He might not think he's going to heaven. He's like, I don't choose it.
Okay.
I mean, that's his choice not to choose it. I mean, I think it's more than ever. But I think you always have. There were people like everyone in the South is a believer. Because of like, hey, just by name.
Everyone in the South's churched.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this.
Well, Cam Newton's church. His dad was a preacher.
He was. If we were to quiz people, let's be honest, if we were to quiz people and you were to tell them, hey, were those commandments or suggestions? I guarantee you by age gaps, they will let you know what they believe. I guarantee you poll like a segment of World War II generations, the few that are alive, and they're going to tell you their commandments, and they'll probably be able to name a few. You go down to the boomers, they're probably still going to say commandments. They'll probably name a few less, right? You get down to my generation, we're naming probably one or two, and we're going to be like, it'll be 50-50, commandments and suggestions. You get down to the millennials, oh, for sure. That's you guys, huh? Millennials? Mm-mm. Yeah, what are you guys?
No, am I? Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, because that's after me. Okay. You get down to that, and they're going to be like, I don't know. I think they're suggestions. You get to the alphas, the next generation, I don't know. That's how far I believe. This is why it's emerging. Mm. This is why it's creeping in. To you, believer, you got to be careful who you're listening to. You got to be careful. And you know what else? And this segues perfectly. I don't think we teach the Bible anymore. I think we just do too many topical sermons. I feel like God has been dealing with me on this. We just do too many topical sermons, and we're not teaching the Bible anymore. Bible illiteracy, I think, is at an all-time high. Like, people just don't know their Bible. And they don't know Jesus from Gandhi. And this, I'm getting nervous. Should I be nervous? Am I right in that?
Yeah, I mean, topical sermons have been a big thing for, a long time. That's what people done. Or especially, I mean, me growing up where I grew up, I mean, everyone was Catholic. All my friends were Catholic, even they were drinking and smoking. I mean, they always had that title. I guess for me, that's why I feel like this has been like a normal thing. Like, their whole family, their parents they were Catholic. But we go to church, Easter, all of them did, the
communion confession.
No, what's the thing when you do when you're young? I forgot.
Communion. Yeah.
Is it called First Communion? Mm-hmm. I thought it was like some, like where you take all the classes and stuff. Catechism. Yeah, they all did all that stuff, and so they consider themselves Catholic, but they didn't live like it.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to get at is, does it concern you we don't teach the Bible no more?
It's hard for me to answer because all the people I listen to teach the Bible.
Okay, I'm talking about majority of churches do not teach the Bible no more.
Okay.
Does that concern you?
Yeah, it's not good.
What say you?
Well, yeah, it's definitely concerning because if they're not teaching the Bible, then nobody is.
That's exactly what I was getting at.
So do you think, because and I still can go back and forth, like, what is Sunday mornings for? What do you think of Sunday mornings? Or what should they be now?
Okay, so all right, let's get into it. So I get tired of this debate, and let me tell you, I get tired of this debate because you can do both. I don't know why people try to put you in a corner. I don't understand people's fascinations with models and corners. Why can't you still teach the Bible, still make it relevant, and have moments when you go to the deep end of the pool and the shallow end of the pool? I don't think it's that complicated. I think we make it complicated. Here's what I can't understand for the life of me. For 2,000 years, the church has succeeded and grown and done very well. And we act like all of a sudden we got to reinvent the wheel. No, the gospel is life-changing. Get it through your head. If you just preach the gospel, people will change because it's not you, it's God working in them. But we overcomplicate this. And I think, and you know what I really think it is? Pastors want to look successful. They want to look like they got it together. And they don't want to work hard. Hard work has been missing. And you have to get down with the sheep and smell like sheep and do the hard work of a shepherd if you want your sheep to survive and to thrive. You have to do the hard work. And I just don't think pastors have got it in. But I found a study that came out. Let me see who it was from. And they did this and come to find out that they were linking social anxieties and depression. And they found out, this was a Harvard professor suggests that one of the reasons kids are not doing well now is because they don't go to church. They have a gap in their spirituality and it's starting to show. Well, fancy that. My concern is when they get to church, what are they getting?
So I obviously we agree on this, obviously, because we go to church together and do church together. But I think how you answer that question is what is that Sunday morning is for? I think it gets pastors to go a certain direction.
Okay, talk to me.
Because if you say it's for like the new person to come in, you're going to get a lot of those topical sermons. So I think helping them think through that, okay, what is this for? I think it's going to help them understand, like, okay, what should I be preaching? But I think that question is an important question for people to answer.
Okay, I'm still trying to understand because I feel like, I think I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. You're saying you feel like the biggest hurdle for pastors is to figure out who their target audience is. Well, we all know the sick don't need a physician. The sick should be your target audience. Okay, so you need to reach the lost, but you need to make disciples. So I guess I'm confused. Is that just too simple for me, or are they feeling vexed on they can only do one and not the other?
Yeah, because if you preach a certain way, if you're not doing if you're not doing Joel Osteen sermons where everyone loves him, well, you didn't got to believe it or not.
Hey, you don't be like it. I actually like Joel Osteen, but
I think he's the problem with the church.
Okay.
I think the way he preaches is a problem with the church because I think there's be a ton of people who aren't believers come there. I feel good, but their lives don't transform.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Again, it begins on that approach. But it's like, no, I'm gonna preach the word whether this offends you or not, whether you get better or not. Are you willing to come to Christ? Your sermon today, but I loved it, and I told them at the end of the service, I don't like telling people what to do. One, because if something goes wrong, you blame it on me. But one thing
that's true.
But one thing I don't mind telling people to do is give up your life up for Christ. Whether your life falls down to a pit from there on out, who cares? Follow Christ no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think that's the message that we got to give people. Do the hard thing of following Christ. And you always talk about like the message of the gospel is going to challenge you every single time.
Yeah.
But if you challenge people, some people are going to walk away.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to do that. And okay for that new person who walks in the first time and you really challenge them, you're okay with that. And I think as I'm saying, I know we agree,
right?
But I think that's why that question is so important.
Okay, I see where you're coming from now. Yeah, and I think until they can answer that question themselves, which I still don't see. I guess where I'm coming. Yeah,
we're still having snacks in the middle of the service. So today we're still catering to.
We are.
So we do the best to to reach both people.
So that you bring up, you brought up my point exactly. I think it's in your programming. I think it's in your approach. And I think there's moments in this, like I throw in a lot of cultural things in the middle of my sermon. You know, people would say relevant things, cultural, iconic things. I do that on purpose. But I'm saying, like this message, they're going to have to go back and watch it probably because it was the deep end of the pool on a lot of stuff. And I do that intentionally because I want to teach the Bible. And I tell newcomers, hey, you're going to have to keep up. Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. And I think if we set the bar too low, if we set the bar at a 5, people will go to a 3. But if you bring the bar up to an 8, people will get to a 5. And so I think it's all where you place that bar. And I think you can do topical. I really do. I think in the fall we should do a marriage. You know, how to have a call Family Ties, right? How to have a good family. Start with marriage, then your kids. I mean, I think that'd be great. And I think people need to learn that. I'm not knocking against that. But I'm thinking I at least half their calendar to 2/3 should be dedicated to teaching the Bible. If you want people to read the Bible, they got to understand the Bible. If they're going to understand the Bible, you got to teach them how to read the Bible. That's all I was getting at. I don't know, maybe I hear this crap and I get really nervous. And that's where I guess I'm on a recoil right now going, hey, like we need to rethink through some things. And I really do. I said it a minute ago. I think pastors have gotten a little lazy. Do you, I don't know. Was that harsh?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you probably have a better pulse on, or finger on the pulse of like whether or not pastors are lazy. I mean, I know you tune in and you watch a lot of different churches from different cities, states. You do. I mean, you're a lot more in tune than, you know, the two of us are. So are they getting lazy? Yeah, I think maybe, yeah. Maybe they are. Maybe they're feeling the weight. I really think that COVID, and you'll hear me, I talk about it all the time. I think COVID jacked people up. I think COVID jacked up the church. I think that it was probably on a course to be jacked up, and then COVID just kind of kicked it over.
I think you're right,
and it really messed some things up. And people fall into not going to church anymore because they can watch online. Pastors, you know, can pastor from a distance because you know people are watching online. It's just a whole bunch of different stuff.
So can I? And I want to end off on this segment right here. This breaks my heart. And I say breaks my heart because I just have a different way of doing things, and I feel like there's a little bit of disingenuous here. Okay, disingenuousness here. So I say getting lazy because I feel like pastors, and I'm excluding bivocational pastors who can't put in a lot of time. Okay, I'm talking about full-time pastors. I think they need to put the time into the word themselves. I think they need to study. Now listen very carefully. Everybody, do not misquote me. Studying could be the scriptures, some commentary, other preachers, other books, other resources. Okay? So putting in that work, putting in that grind. I labeled that scriptures first, right? You want to go to the word. The word speaks for the word. Commentaries, whether that's written or, you know, video, other preachers who have preached it, right? You see where I'm going with this? And I have a clip from a pastor. This was actually sent to us. It was DM'd. And this congregant was very upset, and they felt like the pastor plagiarized. And plagiarized because he gave no credits. He gave no shout outs. He didn't say anything. And we watched it. I think it's 10 minutes long, and it's pretty verbatim. And so you're going to recognize one of these people. It's Louis Giglio. You may not recognize the other person. It doesn't matter. But I want you to watch this clip right here.
I want to give you some metaphorical help here. If the earth were a golf ball, look at the true sense of how big this star is. You'd fly from New York, fly into San Francisco if you can land, because it's foggier than Hades there most of the time. But you can land, and you get an Uber, and you go across the Golden Gate Bridge, set your golf ball down, get some binoculars, and then get up in a very tall building in Oakland, look across the Golden Gate Bridge, and then imagine another one attached to it. That's 19,000 feet of bridge. If the earth were a golf ball, you can put 2.7 quadrillion Earths inside of Musifi. Apparently you're going to need to go from New York to the West Coast. Go to San Francisco with your family and your golf ball. Place your golf ball at the beginning of the Golden Gate Bridge. Go across the bay into Oakland to a high place where you can see the entire Golden Gate Bridge. Another second Golden Gate Bridge will be in your imagination. Span all the way back the 2 Golden Gate Bridges to the very beginning and find your golf ball over there. That's the Earth, and somewhere you're on it. One of the stars in the Milky Way galaxy. It's so big you could fit 2.7 quadrillion Earths inside this one star.
Okay, so you guys leave it in the comment box. Was that pretty crazy or was that pretty crazy? Now, guys, hey, listen, we're all pastors, we're all preachers. Let's not lie. We've taken segments, whether small or short, or small or long, excuse me. And I don't know if I'm the only one who does this. You guys, I don't know. But I try to give credit where credit's due. I do my best, especially if it's a quote, if it's a long duration of thought. I usually try to cite my source. When you first watched that, give me your first thoughts. Were you thrown off a little bit?
I was like, man, how did he do that verbatim? You guys were telling me about how he was doing his notes. Now, even if he did his notes on like a confidence monitor, I'm still like amazed. It's like, how did he? And then I was just like, man, why did you do that? Why? I think that's is bad. I think that's super bad.
What do you think?
My first thoughts were a lot of pastors. I mean, don't even. I don't know. They share sermons. They'll share like sermon notes from other. Some pastors will give other people sermon notes.
Absolutely.
And stuff like And so I never seen like anyone do this like word for word. Like I never seen this. Yeah, this was unique.
Okay, unique in what way though? Bad or good?
Not great, not good.
Well,
but I mean, granted, this part wasn't preaching; it was just some science stuff. So,
you see yourself on the golf ball. I mean, like he did.
But this wasn't the biblical part, though.
Okay, I guess.
But you can't like. You can't say it as though it's like
you can't do it.
No. You know what? I was.
Or you gotta give credit.
I was driving this week, and the Lord just downloaded this on, like.
So why not just get? Let me ask you. I'm being honest.
Credit, yeah.
Why not give credit?
Why not?
No, why?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you have an idea?
No. You
want to sound smart, look smart.
You want to make it appear as though. Now I will say this. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do I need my lawyer?
If we got one, in case you do. If you were to, you probably don't, but if you were to rank like the importance of your sermons for the year,
right?
Like this one has got to be like a really good one, and this one's got to be like one that you would let me preach at. Where does Easter land?
That's it. That's the humdinger right there. You got to come with it.
Okay, well he comes with that for the humdinger. That was his Easter message.
I know.
So it's like even
so. Okay. Rick Warren used to say, if you want to know the temperature of the church, stick the thermometer in the pastor's mouth. And once again, this concerns me. Listen, we all take from other pastors. We all do. I call my pastor's friends on Mondays and Tuesdays. We talk about, hey, went over really well. Hey, use that. Hey, take that. Hey, use that. Hey, take that. What's wrong with just giving credit? What's wrong with that? I don't understand.
Well, maybe if he would have given credit, then people would have realized like how much he took. Because I don't think that when you...
Did you think he took a little too much? He should have just played the Louis Giglio clip.
Should just played the clip. That's all I would have done. Took a break, sip some water. It's 10 minutes.
Hey, this guy says it better than I do, so check this out.
But is... Okay.
I mean, that was a large chunk.
Okay, so do you think people would have more respect for that?
I think
if they just would have played the clip.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you wouldn't have been having somebody who DMs and says.
That's hard to say. I know. Yeah. Sounds like we're saying demons.
Yeah, to me, it's like it was useless anyway. So it wasn't that great.
I mean,
why not just give it?
I like the science stuff in it, but here's where I'm going. Okay, that gets me concerned, and I'm not castigating or casting shade. I'm just asking questions. When pastors do that, are you also subsidizing, or excuse me, are you also trying to, what else are you cheating is what I'm getting at. Screw it. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm not going to try to be amiable about it or politically correct. If you're cheating that, what else are you cheating? Are you short-sighting your prayer life? Are you holding back in your giving? What else are you doing? This is our number one responsibility, is to lead. Is to give our congregation, our sheep, good food, green grass. And by the way, I've got no problem if he spent 20 hours on that first 20 minutes of what he worked on. Let's go. I'm with you. And then just say, hey guys, on this last 10 minutes, I came across this. I was there in 06, whatever. And I just think this will sum up my message better than I could ever sum it up. What's wrong with that? I don't think anybody's going to throw any shade, because what Louis says is phenomenal. I mean, it's mind blowing. It's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. How great is our God? That's all I'm saying, y'all. Is I think we have to we have to live a life above board. And I think you got people out there who start to question other things if we don't. And so I'm constantly trying to do that. I'm constantly trying to say, hey, here's the credit here. Here's the credit there. Because I'm not going to try to make people think I'm smarter than what I am. Does that make sense? Mm. I want to share with people, hey, this is where I got this resource. This is where I got that. And if it's multiple resources, I usually say multiple people will say this. Because I mean, if I cited every source, we'd be up there just citing sources. So when it's multiple, I'll just say multiple people if you look it up. But I don't need to, I just feel like what else are we cheating if we're cheating that? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that about him. I'm just talking about in general. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, when you have to be okay with not looking as good. So if you say, this thought's not my thought, but I'm giving it to you, you're giving credit to somebody else. So you've got to be okay with giving credit to somebody else.
Okay. What about you? What do you say?
Yeah, you like Mike said, you have to be willing. I mean, I don't care what people think about how smart I am. I just want people's life to change. I really don't care. If you walk away and saying, man, that sucked, but man, I really feel like I want to give my life to Jesus, great. You can say that was a great sermon, but I ain't changing anything. He was really funny. People would tell me like, man, it was so funny. I was like, okay, that's great. That means your life shouldn't change in any way, though. What do you do? Like, I don't care. I really don't. My kids don't care. My wife don't care. So, okay, those people matter.
So here's how we're going to close today. We know a lot of people tune in. Give them one helpful hint that has changed your life in a dramatic way spiritually. What's one thing you've done that's really changed your life, and encourage them to do it? You do the same, and I'll close out with it. What's one thing?
I think next week we should start with him having to do this portion. He always gets to think about what he's going to say before.
You're the smarter ones. Like, go first.
Anybody who knows us knows that the smartest one in the room is definitely not me. Okay. One life change. I was talking to a group of guys that I get together each week this last Saturday, and I said, spiritual family has really changed my life.
Oh, wow.
And we were reading this book called The Way to Win. It's a phenomenal book. You can look it up. Pastor Jeff Little.
He's a great guy, too.
Yeah. It's just a really practical book and helps you to just grow in your life. It's made for men, but I think women can read it as well. So anyway, he has a portion in a chapter talks about the spiritual family, and I said, in 2003, I raised my hand to accept Jesus in my life. Nothing in my life changed, though, because I didn't obey anything from 2003 until 2007. In the fall of 2007, I found myself at a Bible study with 5 other guys that looked nothing like me, walked like nothing like me, talked like nothing like me, and that was a round table that changed my life forever. Wow. And that's where I found spiritual family for the first time. And so the September of 2007, my life changed because I allowed other people to start speaking into my life, helping me in my spiritual journey, giving me a platform and giving me an open door to ask questions about faith, push me and, challenge me on certain things that I was believing in. And my life really started to change. And so because of that, I believe in small group. I believe in going to church on a consistent basis. I believe in being known and then, knowing other people. And I believe that spiritual family will change your life.
Go ahead, Bishop.
One thing that I do that I'm not perfect at doing it, because I don't always like doing it, is listen to Christian music in the morning. Like when I go to the gym, it just puts me in the right mindset. It's hard to be like be mad or sinful when you listen to some Christian music in the morning. Even at the gym, you want to listen to stuff that makes you mad or angry. I want to listen to stuff I never will listen to, like Metallica or something like that.
Do you listen to hymns?
Do I listen to hymns? Some things that are like war hymns, but it's more like the contemporary. Yeah. But it's funny. It sounds funny, but it makes a big difference.
Okay.
In the mornings, if I would do that,
oh wow,
it really does change my mindset for that day. And even when somehow I go home and even play it in the house, and I could tell what the difference it makes to my kids and those things. It's something so simple that makes a big difference if you're willing to do it and not to walk around angry at the gym.
Wow. So I want to encourage everybody. You can't have substitutes. There are things you cannot substitute and have proxies for. No one's going to read the Bible for you. No one is going to stand in your gap for prayer. These are things you have to do. If you want the title of Christian and you want to be a Christian, you got to do the works of a Christian. You got to put in the hard work. There is no lazy Christian. And unfortunately for people out there, you cannot Google hard work. You cannot ask Chat GBT or ABC or whatever it is, what is hard work? You're going to have to go find somebody who models hard work to see what it truly is. I want to encourage you. You're going to have to put in the time. You're going to have to put in the hard work if you want to see the results. You can't have somebody fill in for you at the gym. You're going to have to go. If you're going to want to begin to understand your Bible, you're going to have to read your Bible. If you want to see God answer bold, beautiful prayers, you're going to have to pray them. If you want to see miracles, then you're going to have to obey him. There are things that you want out of your spiritual life that you've got to put into time. Do not short sell yourself. Get in there, do the hard work. And when you pray these bold prayers, when you do these hard things, you're going to see big results on the other end of that. I guarantee you. This has been the Not Offended Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace, and we're out.